Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to Rafi Chess. Today I broke through 1600 on stream, so we're gonna be analyzing that game and see what we can learn from it. So make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, and let's get straight into this. I'm playing as black and the game starts with the English opening. So I decide to fianchetto my bishop. He plays d4. I play c5 and then he does e3. And I bring out my knight. The reason being is that I'm not used to playing the English, so I don't really know what the theory is, like the best moves to play and stuff like that, because it's not an opening that I normally go up against. So I do make a couple mistakes in the opening. But overall, I only have, like, overall I'm playing decent. I'm not giving him a huge advantage. Like right now it's about +1, plus 0.9, so it's not too bad. As we see, he does make some mistakes as well, like bringing the queen to c2 was a mistake for him. I decided to push e5, the reason being that I felt like e6 was too passive, and also it blocks in my bishop. So if he could trap it with like h3 and then g4, if I had my pawn on e6, so he does h3, and because I pushed this e pawn 2 squares instead of 1, I can bring it back to e6, and now it's attacking this pawn. I also would like to play e4, so that is why I played e5. He protects his pawn with b3, and I bring my knight back. The reason is that I'm not too sure what my plan is in this position. For example, I'm thinking he might push for b4, so I might want my knight to be here in case his knight decides to jump in or something, and I could use it to protect my b5 pawn if I want to push it. So I bring the knight back to e8 because it's a very versatile move, and you know I could even push f5, which is actually what I end up doing. So he does bishop b2, and then I play queen e7 first. He does rook d1, and then I push for f5. It was a mistake, however, because he can play knight d5 and it attacks my queen. So I should have done a move to actually prevent that. Like knight c7 was probably a better move here. Knight a5, that's what the computer suggests, knight a5, so, or rook c8. So this f5 move wasn't that good. And he plays knight d5, which is an amazing move, and I decide to capture, which is actually a mistake. He captures back, and then I drop my other knight back. The reason this is so bad is because he can do d6, and this pawn is like harassing my my position. It makes my position really difficult. Like if I try to do queen d7 to stop the pawn from progressing further, he can just capture this pawn. And yeah, like I could take, and he takes back, and now my king is weak. This pawn, it takes away these really important squares. It's a pass pawn as well, so it could potentially promote if he decides to like use his other bishop. So yeah, but thankfully he doesn't push. Instead he does bishop c4, which was amazing for me, and it actually made the knight e8 move make sense, because now I do knight d6 and it stops this pawn from pushing, and it's actually a great move as well. He brings his knight back, which, like, during the stream I couldn't even figure out why he played this. It makes no sense why he done this, because his knight can only go to the g4 square now and the f1 square. He's obviously not going to go back to f3 because he came back from that square. So for him to go back to the same square he just came from, like, it would make no sense. And he can't go to the g4 square because I played f5. So it's like he's making my moves good even though they're not that good, you know. So the only thing that would make sense is if he done like rook e1, then done like knight f1. But obviously that's going to take way too long to like reroute the knight to wherever he wants. So yeah, I just bring my other knight back into the game. He does f3, which again, I don't understand why he played that. It makes no sense really. I bring my knight to f6, which was a mistake. But my idea was that knight comes to f6, queen comes to f7, and then I have these two attackers on the pawn, and then I could even do like rook d8. So my plan was to win this pawn essentially. That's why I done knight f6, but it wasn't actually that good. Instead, I should have done b5 and attacked his bishop. So yeah, he does b4, which was, I immediately in the game I knew that was a very bad move. I literally said, oh, I'm going to take that straight away. So I did. I took it. He took back, which was a big mistake. The reason being is that I can now do rook c8, and because his queen and his bishop is on the same diagonal, he can't move his bishop anywhere. So after c8, rook c8, which is a brilliant move by the way, his bishop is essentially lost. His best move is to do knight d, queen d3 I mean, and I just win the bishop. So he decided to resign in this point. He resigned after rook c8, which I don't think you should do, because he still does all these pieces on the board. You know, he's got the knight, the two rooks, he's still got the bishop pair, he's got this protected passed pawn. You know, his position wasn't actually that bad, so I don't know why he resigned. But yeah, this game, it actually broke us through 1600. So currently we're at 1603, 1603. So yeah, if you guys would like me to review one of your games, then you can join my Discord server. The link for that will be in the bio. I'll also put the link to my club in the bio. And yeah, other than that, stay sharp, stay focused, and never stop learning.